Multicurrency prepaid cards are gradually gaining popularity, and understanding what they are and how they work is more important than ever. They offer utmost convenience for travelers and shoppers with no hidden fees or exchange rate complications. But buried within the terms and conditions are fees and rules written in the tiniest of fonts that can quietly drain your funds. Today on Mint, we are looking at why reading the terms and conditions could save your money and a lot of frustration. From trends affecting major businesses to practical financial strategies, Mint is here to empower you. My name is Lydia Nyawera. Also, today on Mint, earning from the green, the untapped potential of caddying. SME woes. Does the high price of doing business in Kenya threaten the very survival of SMEs? From 9 to 5 to purpose. Swazuri, empowering women in business.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Mola, kila siku niko chesa. Mola, make more bila stress. Mola, kila siku wesa. Mola, make more bila stress.
This week on Money Moves, we are cutting through the noise to provide you with insights that matter to your finances. Multi-currency cards can be your best companion when traveling to different countries, but there is a catch. You need to read and understand the terms and conditions. We break down the details in the fine print.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
If you're planning an international trip in the coming weeks or months, chances are someone has recommended a multi-currency prepaid card to you. These cards are marketed as safe, easy, and cheaper than carrying cash. They might be safer since they don't have all your money in them, and easy because you won't need the mental calculator every time you want to spend. But are they really cheaper than a credit or debit card? Let's find out. A multi-currency card is just like a wallet that holds money in multiple currencies.
If you travel and you need to use that specific currency, you won't need to go to the Forex Bureau to convert to the currency of that country. So if let's say you travel to the UK and they have GBP and your multi-currency has GBP as part of the wallet, it means you'll just be transacting without the need to do any conversions.
When 35-year-old Andrew jetted off on a 10-day business trip abroad, he was armed with confidence and a shiny prepaid multi-currency card loaded with $5,000 issued by a local bank. Everything went smoothly until he got back home and checked his card statement. To his surprise, some mysterious charges popped up and a few hidden fees had quietly chewed his balance. When he analyzed his statement, he realized that money had already been deducted from his card even before he stepped on the plane. Andrew's case is far from unique. Many travelers discover, often too late, that there are hidden fees and unexpected deductions on prepaid multi-currency cards. Financial advisors warn that while prepaid multi-currency cards offer convenience, it is essential to read the fine print and be familiar with the fees, currency conversion rates, and other charges.
Like in anything else, it goes with awareness. And the disadvantage that we have is that we would rarely have time to read at terms and conditions, the tariffs, and I believe the CBK has actually advised customers, when you go to the branch, when you work with any brand, try to see the fees that are there, if it is a loan that you are getting. So the same with the cards. It's always good to know the tariffs that they have so that you take that in consideration when using them. What I would say is that if you use them, then you are charged. It is not hidden. It's just that maybe as humans, we are likely to forget to check that. But it's important to ask for the tariffs as you get the card so that you are fully aware of the Forex rates which can changing, and then there are static charges that can accompany any card that you have.
Understanding the terms and conditions is crucial for making an informed decision and avoiding unexpected fees or issues. Additionally, always compare fee structures across available providers.
If you travel a lot, if you work and you are paid in different currencies, then it will be very advantageous to have the multi-currency wallet.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
MSMEs are the backbone of the Kenyan economy. They comprise a large percentage of businesses in the country, making significant economic contributions. However, the numerous challenges they face in their early years prevent them from reaching their 4th birthday.
They are deemed vital in driving the economy, but small businesses in Kenya face a shortage of 1.9 trillion Kenya shillings, money they need but cannot unlock to get their businesses going. This is according to a survey of micro, small and medium enterprises conducted by Ipsos.
MSMEs need this credit of around 1.9 trillion that they cannot unlock, right, on a yearly basis. So that becomes a critical issue, and that's 6% of the finance gap in Sub-Saharan Africa.
Overall, MSMEs in Kenya face challenges in finance, legal issues, sales and marketing, in having the right skills and staff, in resources, and in security. Of all this, finance is the biggest issue, as many struggle to make it past their 4th birthday.
The main challenge is cash flow. Cash flow being a major issue around MSMEs, and that we've seen throughout times, and not even COVID times, even now as we move on. So there's a cash flow, a significant cash flow issue that MSMEs have, more around the micro enterprises compared to small and medium.
Access to credit is a major problem. This is because many of them cannot get access to cheap loans to scale up their operations due to commercial banks requiring tangible collateral. Most MSMEs have no credit history, no relationships with banks.
Then there's sourcing for money, access to credit, right? Now that is more around the medium and the small compared to the micro.
Because of the way they're established, often by an individual trying their hand at business, MSMEs struggle with legal and governance issues.
Second is what they call legal issues. Now, when you look at this, these are governance issues, right? From an ESG point of view. So things like tax compliance, right? Things like registration of business, laws, regulations, and all that. So tax compliance being a critical issue there where MSMEs are facing challenges.
Governance issues make it difficult for MSMEs to work with bigger businesses and corporates, which require strict tax compliance as they are closely watched by the Kenya Revenue Authority. Struggles with governance also make it difficult for MSMEs to access credit.
Why we picked this up is because finance becomes a major issue for MSMEs.
Despite all these challenges, there is a silver lining for MSMEs in the country.
In Kenya, we have about 300 organizations that are signed on to the compact here, and about 60% of them are SMEs. Therefore, by virtue of being a large populace of our membership, a lot of our causes are tailored towards catering to their specific needs. They also have the benefit of tapping into those with greater experience, those who have done and walked this road before. Causes that are being offered in this particular platform are very specific to the challenges that have been brought to us by SMEs. So these are challenges in access to finance, understanding the terminologies and the jargons around sustainability.
Additionally, both the national and county governments need to review policies to promote the MSME sector in the country. In addition, there's also a need for mentorship programs for budding entrepreneurs to learn about management and good financial planning to avoid bad loans, as well as how to make their businesses sustainable.
We are involving them in the sustainability journey so that we don't leave them behind. Part of what we've done is to get experts to talk to them. We also partnered with the UN Global Compact to, help them with the trainings and to be able to open up their minds for them to understand what sustainability is all about. And this, we've made it possible for them by, them being able to attend trainings, whether online or physical, at no extra cost, at free of charge for them. And that is our commitment as a bank, to move forward with them as our suppliers.
Financial institutions like DTB have been engaging their top suppliers where they train them on how to integrate ESG principles into their business operations, providing guidelines on how businesses can adapt these practices to foster long-term sustainability in their operations.
We've made it as a commitment to our suppliers that we will be able to move with them together. And this includes, if they have challenges in finances that connect with sustainability, how do we help them out, guiding them to the right organizations, including them and working with them and showing them what they need to do to be able to meet the sustainability agenda.
Cash flow issues, limited access to credit, legal and governance matters, and tax compliance are some of the main challenges bedeviling SMEs in the country. Collectively, financial institutions and policymakers can support them to ensure they survive and thrive and continue growing the economy. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Earning from the green, the untapped potential of caddying.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Moolah, kila siku waste that moolah, make more bila stress.
Welcome back to Mint, where we explore the world of personal finance, simplifying it and making it relatable for you. Whether you're looking to earn, spend, save or invest, we've got you covered.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
Many believe that caddies are simply bag carriers that have limited knowledge of golf and that caddying is a short-term hustle. Those assumptions are wrong. Josephat Kabiru, a seasoned caddy, has been involved in the sport for 50 years and earns his livelihood from it. Over the past 5 decades, he has gained knowledge and expertise in the game, supporting professional golfers in making informed decisions. Here is his story.
Meet Josephat Kabiru, a 67-year-old who has been a caddy for 5 decades at Sigona Golf Club. Kabiru has been carrying golf bags and, at the same time, offering valuable insights into the course to players every day.
Kitu ya kwanza ile nilifutia sana ni kwa ajili sisi ni pali nimetoka kukua pesa. Lakini wakati mimi nasoma ninaona watu huko wanaenda wanalipwa kidogo pesa, wanakuja wanasaidia wazazi wao. Hata mimi nikafutiwa na hiyo. Kutoka hapo nikaingia, wakati nilifanikiwa kuingia huko nilijaribu kusaidia wazazi wangu.
According to him, they don't just carry the bag.
Kazi ya caddy ni mtu akikuja kama hajajua kucheza golf na kumfundisha na kumbebea bag. Kila kitu yote akitaka kufanya, wewe ndio utamuonesha kwa ajili wewe ndio uko na experience ya hii golf.
He says that a caddy also acts as a source of motivation, particularly during challenging moments, and even advises a player on which club to use.
Ni lazima tujadiliane ile distance unapiga mpira inataka klabu yake. Sasa ni lazima hapo tujadiliane hii ni hadi gapi tunaweza kucheza na klabu gani. Unaweza kuwa na mashini ya kupima. Kama unachezanga kama mita 100, iko klabu ya kucheza mita 100.
He urges jobless youth to consider caddying as a viable way to earn a living and build a better future.
Unataka caddy, ni lazima ukuje kwa club, uongee na committee member ya caddies. Kutoka hapo uongee na caddy master, ndio aende kwa management, iko na season ile watu wanakujanga. Sasa tumepeana jina yako pale. Siku ya kufanya nini wanataka mtu wanakuita. Alafu wanakuja wanakutrain. Vile utabeba hii bag, vile utalipia kiwanja, vile utalipia depot.
As the country struggles to create enough quality jobs for hundreds of thousands of youth entering the labor force each year, such opportunities can help to bridge the gap. According to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics 2024 Labor Force Report, youth aged 18 to 34 number over 15 million, with many unemployed or underemployed. Kabiru believes that with discipline and dedication, caddying can open doors just as it did for him, especially now that the government is promoting golf tourism.
This time, ladies and gentlemen, we are hyping golf tourism. And why golf tourism? Because this country is well endowed. We have over 40 golf courses. Around Nairobi alone, we have not only scenic, but extremely challenging golf courses. The statistics that we have show that an average golfer would spend upwards of $3,000.
As a caddy, one can earn a living from golf through daily wages, tips, and potentially through sponsorships, especially during tournaments.
Kila klabu iko na arrangement yake. Kama hapa Limuru inalipwa 1,000. Si inalipwa 1,200 Sigona. Kale inalipwa 1,500. Muthaiga inalipwa na 1,500, lakini zingine zinalipwa 800, na hii pesa unalipwa ukifanya 4 hours. Kwa ajili sasa hiyo ndio 18 hours. 9 hours unalipwa 700. Tunaifanyanga kama Wednesday, Saturday na Sunday. Siku hii ingine ni kwenda kutengeneza kiwanja.
And if you aspire to become a professional golfer, you can utilize your experience and connections gained from caddying.
Na mawaidha yangu ni kusema mtu wote hata kama akona na miaka 18 kwenda juu akuja kwa golf. Opportunities zote ziko hapa.
Through hard work and savings, Kabiru has been able to provide for his family and educate his children through college.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
The 9-to-5 grind is not for everyone, and it certainly wasn't for Eva or Yugi. 7 months into her job, which she hadn't even studied for, Eva left to start her own venture centered on fashion and later entrepreneurship. However, she then shifted to empowering young women through Swazuri events.
Working 9 to 5 is outdated. Well, it's not, but things have changed and the world is slowly moving past the 9 to 5 routine into entrepreneurship, which is increasingly becoming popular. People with an entrepreneurial spirit are choosing to venture into the world of self-employment where creativity, innovation, out-of-the-box thinking, and autonomy reign supreme.
So I got employed immediately after I graduated, and it was not my profession like what I'd studied. It was an account management job of a portfolio of debt. 7 months into the job, I felt like I wanted to be out there in the community, in the environment, to connect with people. At that particular point, I sort of started just toying around with several ideas, and I had an idea for a fashion event. So during my free time, I used to do a lot of research about what it takes to host a fashion event or an event in general in Nairobi, etc. And I put that down around the 9th month in the formal employment. One afternoon, I just quit. And so at that particular point, now I had so much time to implement the idea that I had. And on weekends, on Saturdays, I used to walk around Nairobi, let's say the venue spaces around Westlands or hotels. I'm like, hi, how much does it cost to rent out your space for a day, etc. And it was quite a huge amount back then. And so I realized I'm not going to be able to afford to implement this idea without having partners. Then I learned of Michael Joseph Center. At that time, it's at Safaricom. My work now became writing emails. They responded that they've seen my request and they'd be okay coming on board to support ATC. Getting the support from Michael Joseph Center meant I had a venue, I had on-ground staff like inside the hall, I had seats, I had sound, I had everything. So I had a business partner, an implementer partner for that idea. Her name is Nora. And so we decided we're going to sell space, exhibitor space. So the event was known as Fashion Bloggers Runway Show back in 2016. It was such a feel-good type of event, and we approached a lot of top-notch fashion brands or personalities or whatever, and we were selling exhibitor space, the 4x2 tables. And then we had ticket sales as well for the fashion events. And that's how we made money from the event itself. But ideally, we didn't have money to start the event, literally. So the event paid itself in terms of paying for the models, paying for extra help for the people who are helping around, entertainment.
Even with the entrepreneurial spirit, your business is still your job and needs more than resources to succeed.
Initially, we were just winging it. But then immediately after the fashion event, I started hosting women empowerment events. But my focus was more young women, especially under 25, under 30. Initially, we were just
using the element of storytelling, bringing personalities to share their story, their journey, especially personalities we felt who are more authentic in who they are and the journey they've been through. After doing storytelling for quite a while, I was asking myself what more. And so we started looking towards the element of capacity building. Our focus after 2020 became more about economic empowerment for young women in business. And so elements of trainings, especially things like digital media, digital skills that they can use for their business, became a key thing. So the challenge became now being able to do the events the same way. And luckily within this time frame, we were able to compete for a grant and got support from the USA, DIALI and KU to implement a program known as 2-in-1 program. It's a socioeconomic empowerment program that was training 270 female entrepreneurs from Mombasa. And so with the sort of trajectory and growth and how we've been moving, I think since 2020 during the pandemic, now we realize the core thing or the bigger picture that we want to focus on is building communities, especially for young women entrepreneurs, building their capacity and doing that even in more areas where it doesn't seem possible or where they don't get a lot of these opportunities.
As with any business, there are always challenges.
I would say nurturing and growing a team. So initially when I started, I was a one-person team. That's why, again, I never had a lot of expenses around me. So it was more about working smart. But then you get to a point you realize for you to get to where you want to be, you can't do it alone and you can't be waiting for freebies. You need people on your side. So the teamwork element, getting the right people. Another challenge I think I faced is, I would say, evolving. When we were like a one-woman show initially and we were meant to be doing everything, we missed out on a huge part of telling our stories very well because we've done so much since 2016 to date. Not only hosting events at Safaricom, we've given talks to girls' high schools. We've been part of career days. We've done events in Tanzania as well. But I always look at it as elements where we missed out to tell our stories well so that we stay afloat with social media and digital media as it keeps coming with full swing. There's always something happening.
Entrepreneurship sounds like an easy ride, but it's not. Therefore, before venturing into it, one needs to be ready for the ups and downs.
One honest thing I believe is entrepreneurship is not a solution to the high rate of unemployment, also because it takes a lot from you. As a 22-year-old, to me, I felt like I have nothing to lose. Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? If the event fails, we go back and look for another job or whatever. And so entrepreneurship takes a lot of risks. If we look at it as a solution to the unemployment, then people who go in and within year 1, year 2, they're not seeing this giving them the revenue they expected or the lifestyle they hoped for, they will give up. And so they'll be back again to the same cycle of like, no, I want something stable. And so I think my advice to anyone who watches this and they have a passion or a desire to do something for themselves is, what's the worst that can happen if you follow that crazy dream or desire you have for yourself? Because you won't know unless you try.
Eva demonstrates that at times taking bold steps is essential to realize your true potential and that your first idea doesn't have to be your last. This wraps up today's episode of Mint, Money Made Simple, your essential guide to personal finance designed to help you make your money work smarter for you. For more information, visit Mint at mula.co.ke or tv47.digital. Stay safe and keep minting. Until next week, I'm Lydia Nyawera.
Spend it, save, invest. Mula, kila siku waste that